try. No. Made myself a stomach.
So yeah, this is Chris from the Rockstar Method. I'm with
Bingo Ritchie, lead guitar for Proud Mary.
great show tonight, man.
Thank you.
What made you learn the guitar? What got you into it?
Listening to music as a child. I started playing when I was about 2 years old because I just wanted to join in the fun.
2 years old. That is young, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the best thing about being a musician?
Wow. About being a musician, because there's a lot of great things about being alive at all, but about being a musician, I would say just being able to play music and listen to music and listen to what I'm playing and be connected in a creative way to the muse, as it were, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I think the best thing is just like really getting into the music, into your jam or whatever you're doing, and feeling it. Because it's a whole different thing. It's a language of emotion, and it's the closest thing that we have to really being able to communicate effectively emotionally, I think.
Do you have a vision of what you still want to achieve in music?
No.
No.
No, I never did. That's not entirely true. I mean, but it's a bit abstract, you know. And you have to take into consideration that it's a pretty abstract mechanism that we're dealing with here. I think what I really wanted to get to as a player was to have hand-ear coordination and to be able to express what was in my heart adequately, and whatever I'm thinking immediately play it. And so when you master your instrument, you get to that point. But then there's a thing about the thing about music is all it really does is carry what's in your heart to the heart of the person that's listening.
Yeah.
All the notes and all of the spaces between the notes are kind of ear candy. It's actually really, really transmitting the vibration that you're transmitting on a heart level, you know.
Yeah.
So I just want to be clear and very fucking cool, and you know, and not have any hang-ups, really, you know.
Yeah. No, brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Before gigs, do you imagine or visualize them going well?
No.
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 Just clear mind about it.
Yeah, I don't have any expectations about stuff. You know, it's kind of like when you take mushrooms or something. If you're waiting for a fucking great trip, you're not going to have anything really expanding.
Yeah.
But if you're not worrying about anything, you'll be expanded. You know, it's like music is a holy thing, man. It's a fucking temple. You know, you walk into a song a certain way, and you can play the same song every night of your life. I mean, you'll be a different person each time you start it, and you'll be different every time you're finished. You know. So to me, it's more about just stretching and exercising and warming up and making sure that I'm there and that my faculties are able to accommodate whatever happens.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is there a best state of mind for making music?
No, just being alive. I mean, I think people can make music. Music can be a healer. Music can be a comfort. It can be a blanket. It can be a band-aid. It can be a fucking battle axe, man. I've heard music come from every state of mind, and I've been in pretty much every state of mind doing it, and it's always there. I mean, it's a very, very powerful tool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's an emotional tool. I mean, the depth of one's understanding of their emotion is like pretty much the breadth that you can hit with music. I mean, there's some angry music that's very, very powerful. There's some sad music that's very powerful.
Oh yeah.
Some happy music that's very, I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man.
So
yeah.
So there's no state of mind that's greater. I've been sober playing. I've been high as a fucking kite, man. I've been drunk. I've been, you know, but I think the most important thing is just to be present,
Yeah.
you know, and whatever that takes. I mean, I don't judge anybody for using or not using any drug or alcohol. I don't personally care. I think there's virtue in everything,
Yeah.
you know, but I also think it can be a crutch and it can be a real defeating principle, you know, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, any frame of mind's fine.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
How do you cope with any negative criticism or just negative vibes or if you're making music?
Well, it depends on. To me, it's like, what do you own, really? I mean, if you read Homer, you know, Pictura et Poesia, it's like you paint the picture; it belongs to the world. I could give a fuck what anybody thinks, man. I'm having a good time, you know. And if somebody hates it, then they're a hater, and I don't care, you know. I don't strive to be admired in the eyes of men. I don't think that's a good motivation.
Yeah.
You know, I think that if you trust your own artistic vision and your own aesthetic, and it gets you up personally, then it's gonna relate. The people are gonna relate to it. You know, some people anyway.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's great because I like music that I hate, even, and it's weird, but I do. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's all music.
Well,
Right?
it's amusing, but it's also, as a sociologist, you have to think, why do people feel empowered by this, or feel cool for listening to this, or what is it doing, really? What's the function behind it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big question.
It is.
How can music do that to people? It does make them feel cool.
Fuck,
It does
yeah.
make them feel sad. It does make them feel happy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, hats off to Living. That's it's just an expression of happiness.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how did that song come about?
Which song?
Hats off to Living?
Hats Off to Living was written by Paul Newsom, so you'd have to ask him. I mean, what it means to me as somebody who comes along and plays on it, you know, it's like, yeah, people, to me, it's like you respect the dead, right? But you also have to respect the living, and you have to respect your own living.
Yeah.
And if you blink, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
'Cause it don't last long, bro.
Final question. Have you got any advice for anyone that you know, it's important to them playing the guitar, they want to get better, just they want to learn? Any advice for aspiring guitarists?
Yeah. Breathe. Listen to what you're doing. Don't get swept away in the motion and mechanics of it, but breathe through it. Tap your foot. The best thing really is to keep it out of its case and put it on your favorite chair or on your bed or wherever you sit down the most, so that when you want to sit down, you actually have to pick it up. And then when it starts to feel like work, deal with that in your own way. But yeah, I think that's probably it. Just make it available to yourself and stick to it and have fun with it, because it's a lifetime journey.
Yeah.
And you don't have to master it right off the bat. The whole universe can be contained in one single note. And just pay attention to what you're actually hearing and feeling, you know? That's probably it.